Hey, buddy, do you know how Ezra Miller lost weight for the Flash movie?
I don't know.
He
I don't know.
fasted.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
Here
get
we
the show
go.
rolling. Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne. With me, my partner, Naldo. How are you, sir? I feel like it's been a
Good, man.
while.
It's been a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
Almost a couple months.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
summertime blues. Like, we got to get
Just
caught up.
yeah. Your puns are still awful, but
Thank you.
I'm sure
Thank
someone
you.
loves them.
Yeah, I didn't practice while we were away. So
That's great. Great. Ready for the Flash?
let's do it.
All right. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it.
Okay.
I have a lot of nitpicky stuff, but at the end of the day, I did have fun. It's just not one of those movies I think I'm gonna revisit, which is
Okay.
interesting. But I think that has more to do with what we can talk about later in this episode. But I did enjoy it. How about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I knew going into this. I mean, the main reason I wanted to see it was because of Michael Keaton, 1989 Batman. That was kind of like the sole purpose of me watching it. But overall, I thought the movie was okay. I had some fun with it. I thought the beginning was kind of cringy when the babies are falling out of the building and he puts one in the microwave. And
Mm,
so that
yeah.
was kind of weird. Overall, I had some fun with it. So it wasn't as bad as some people are making it out to be, but it's not something I'll probably revisit again, like you said.
Yeah, and we'll go full spoilers here, so no surprise. We know Keaton was in it, but yeah, we're gonna talk about some parts that I just didn't agree with. I think could have been cut out. I feel like it's a mashup of a lot of different movies that it was trying to be, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think it was too much. They landed some stuff great. Keaton was amazing. It's like seeing Batman 3 that I loved those aspects, but I didn't love the dual berries. It
Okay.
was like one berry was enough, and two berries is really, really annoying. And so I had an issue with that. I get it for the storyline, and it was done well. I actually thought they did well
Yeah.
in doing both of those roles, but I just didn't love the two berries.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go the opposite way, and I actually like the two berries. I like the interactions. I like the smart and stupid Barry. And so it was kind of funny in those moments. They had good chemistry because it was him. So,
Yeah.
but I actually enjoy that aspect of the movie. So that didn't really bother me. It almost reminded me of like a Bill and Ted Bogus Adventure or Excellent Adventure when he goes
Mhm.
back and so it was funny in its own way. But what really kind of just I knew there was going to be a bunch of cameos in this, but I was just kind of let down. It's kind of like, whoa, there's just too much in this, and it's like they just tried go throwing everything at you, and to me, it just a lot of it didn't work.
Yeah, I felt like it was way too much fan service at the end.
Hmm.
The finale was like hey, we couldn't think of a really good story, so we just gave you a little bit of everything. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't like that. By the end, it felt cheap, as if they were just trying to fit a bunch of stuff in, and we already got ultimately what you said you were there for, Michael Keaton as
Yeah.
Batman. An Elseworlds kind of story with a Supergirl instead of Superman battling Zod. I liked Supergirl. I think she was a little underserved. I wish I would have seen a little bit more of her,
Okay.
like maybe brought her along earlier. Like you said, the beginning is a little cringe with the Justice League scene. I
Yeah.
don't need a fun Justice League to like wipe away, the moody Zack Snyder Justice League. I'm in the minority, well, maybe not the minority, but I don't. I like his version of the Justice League, and so I just
Okay.
didn't need the fun, campy, like, hey, Wonder Woman and Batman, is like a little schoolboy crush on her, and it just some of that stuff. I would once you get past that and you get into the story of Barry needing to go back in time to save his
Yeah.
mom. I'm with it. I was with it for a good portion of it. It just kind of failed in the beginning and the end for me.
Yeah. Speaking of Barry and that whole scenario with his mom dying, being murdered, we never found out who it was, huh?
No, they didn't even talk about it really. Like
Yeah.
they didn't even. It's like an afterthought.
Ah,
And
okay.
you kind of wish that like somebody would have kind of just been like, hey, let's throw that out. How about we find out who it is and stop
Yeah.
them? And it just I've heard mixed things of, maybe it's because they were going to really like reveal that in a second movie, and it's not likely we're going to get one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to talk about cameos. You want to talk about cameos?
Let's do your cameos. What do you got?
Okay. It was too much, man. We got CGI cameos, Christopher Reeve, Supergirl. We got a Nicolas Cage, long-haired
Wild.
Superman. And then we got a crazy cameo at the end by none other than George Clooney. Which, you know what? I like George Clooney. I just
Sure.
think they chose the worst Batman cameo out there. I get it, fan service, but with all the CGI they're doing, couldn't we put Val Kilmer in there? Couldn't we put Christian Bale in there? You gave us George Clooney at the end? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, again, real cheap. It just felt slapped together,
Yeah.
as if like, look at all these characters we're kind of giving thanks to and showing you all of our history of DC cinema, and it's
Yeah.
just not necessary for the story at that
Yeah.
point. I just show me the same actors in different versions of what's going on, and those cameos feel super cheap. The Nick Cage one didn't even make sense to me. I kind of like moaned at that point because you have to be such a
I
nerd,
know.
like deep
I
cut
know.
knowledge of what would have been Superman in the late
Yeah.
90s, and it wasn't necessary. Like, why throw that in? Most people are gonna be like, what the hell is Nick Cage doing on the screen?
Yeah, and it looked bad. It looked bad
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And ultimately at the end, like by the time Clooney steps out of the car, you're just like, whatever. Like it didn't matter. Like at that point, it just kind of like, surprise, he still changed something because he restocked a can on the shelf.
Yeah. Okay.
Just, yeah. Anyhow,
All right. You want to
it
rate?
was fun. Keaton was
Yeah.
great. Still's the
He-
show. Let's
He
rate
was
it.
great. Yeah, let's rate it. Okay. What are we going with?
How many berries
Okay. How
are you
many
gonna give
berries?
this?
1 to 5. 1 berry, awful. 5 berries, great. You want to go
Halle
first?
Berry being excellent. I
Oh,
do.
that's
No, there we
Catwoman.
go. Yeah.
All right.
She is part of the DC universe. Yeah, where was she?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go. I give it a fair rating of like 3 berries. I
Okay.
had fun. It wasn't wonderful. Like, I'm not gonna watch this probably again unless it's on HBO, which it'll be very soon. It didn't
Yeah.
do well in theaters, so 3 berries. It was
Okay.
fun for a summer movie.
Wow. Okay. I thought you were gonna go lower. All right.
I wanted
to. 3
You got
berries for you.
Keaton in your background, man.
All right. Like I said, the reason I went to go see this movie was because of Michael Keaton, not because of Barry or The Flash or Supergirl. Is that supposed to be Supergirl?
Yeah.
Superman's cousin, right?
Yeah.
Or anything else was because of Michael Keaton. I had some fun with it. It's not a great movie. I don't think it's as bad as the critics are saying. But I think you said it's not. It didn't do so good. But I there's some parts I enjoyed. So I'm gonna go with the 3. 3 berries. It's hard for me to rate any superhero movie really high these days, and the multiverse is getting old. And there's only one movie that did it really right, and that was No Way Home. So
Good call. I can't argue with that logic.
yeah.
That's what we've got. This is a flash of a review, and I've been your host Gagne for FYC Film Review. With me, my partner Naldo.
Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you soon with our next review. Take care.